Hello everybody, I'm Brian, and welcome to the first episode of Magic Arena gameplay. Today, I'll be showcasing an upgraded version of pre-constructed deck in Magic Arena, the Mutation Station deck, using only cards coming from the basic decks they gave as a reward through color challenges and daily mission, so you do not need to buy and open any packs or use any wild cards to assemble this deck. This helps you have a deck that runs a little bit more smoothly than the pre-constructed version, and you can save up those resources for building some powerful tier deck in the future. So let's look at the deck. Alright, starting it with the Frog. Hollywalk Symbiote is a 2-mana 1/3 that has 2 abilities. Each creature spell you cast costs 1 less to cast if it has Mutate. Very good. It rams you into more powerful mutations creatures. It also helps you cast multiple mutation and trigger mutation multiple times in a single turn. So it's kind of like a miracle turn. And whenever you cast a creature, if it has Mutate, draw a card, then discard a card. This ability is also very important where you get to the late game, you get extra lands that are just stuck in your hand, where Evolving Wilds you do not want to have it, or sometimes you have like eliminate these spells that probably may not be as good in some of the matchups stuck in your hand. Then you can use the Frog's ability, mutate on some of the creatures, draw a card, and then discard a card. Notice that you do not really have to mutate the creature in order to get this looting ability. You can just cast it right out of the gate with its original casting cost, and then you can still get to draw cards and discard cards as you see fit. So very important for this deck. Sadly, because they don't have the 4th copy in the Mutation Station pre-constructed. So if you have the 4th copy, you should put it into the deck. And we also have 11 different mutation creatures as our mutation package. You do not have a lot of for a mutation pre-constructed deck. You do not have a lot of mutation creatures inside, but I've already picked up all the mutation creatures that actually are usable in most of the situation. They have different triggers, like this one you can mutate to start draining your opponent's life. You can mutate on it to destroy creatures or planeswalkers, mutate to draw a card, mutate to bounce a creature, or just force your opponent to sacrifice a creature. All very relevant abilities when you consider that you mutate like this, you force your opponent to sacrifice a creature, you bounce another creature as well. So it creates a very powerful loop where you just sort of just start to mutate on creatures, get different triggers. Every creature you mutate becomes a spell as well, and your opponent will also have a creature to deal with. So they're very powerful. I won't go through all of them. You can see them in action later in the gameplay. Okay, I've also added some of the flyers you can have to the deck, because this deck I played the original version some couple of times. I found that it has a feeling like the caw-blade in the past, where they just can deploy flyers, attach them with like a certain blade, and then just smash for the win. And once you have a threat on air, you can protect them with open mana, and you can respond to different threats as well. So yeah, the deck will benefit from some of the flying creatures in the format. Like Cloud Concealer, Tomb Raider. These two are particularly good in the deck because 3 mana, it gives you a flying creatures 2/1 or 1/1, and also draws a card. This deck can run out of cards very quickly because they are very low cost. They have bounce spells. It is card disadvantage. You have spells like Glint. They do not have counter spells in pre-constructed decks, so you have to settle for Glint in some of the matchups where they have lots of removal. Uh, so you run out of cards very quickly, and these two is going to help you uh, refill your hand a little bit. Warden of Evil Isle. This card, free mana for a 2/2. Dice to Shock. For me, it really is the weakest of all the different flying creatures. But if you are looking into the list of flying creatures you have at your disposal, like on the black and blue, this one is by far another one of those creatures that you just have to put in. So it is 2 off. Also, creature spells with flying cards cost 1 less to cast, so it helps, funny enough, to reduce the cost of Dirge Bat, either the mutation cost or the casting cost as well, but may not be relevant most of the time, but it may come up once or twice and you'll be shocked to see it. Also, the existence of Warden of Evil Isles can allow for some very explosive play. If you have like 2 Cloud Conceal or Tomb Raider, you can just third turn Warden of Evil Isles, fourth turn 4 lands, double Tomb Raider or double Cloud Conceal to draw more cards. Very powerful. And you have 3 flying creatures. Your opponent will have to find a way to deal with it, or it will be a very fast clock. Okay, so we've talked about the mutation creatures. We also have some flyers. What else does the deck have? Winged Words. This spell costs 1 less to cast if you control a creature with flying. So more often than not, you can get to cast this Winged Words to draw 2 cards for 2 mana, which is very, very powerful. In the early games, it may not appear to you may not be casting it so frequently at 2 mana, and sometimes if you are missing land drops or missing key cards, you will have to be forced to cast it for 3 mana. Don't be afraid to use it at 3 mana. It is still like you are trading it for an additional card, so it is usually worth it, and it takes cards for you as well, so it is very important. All right, so another one of the special points about this is that the caw-blade will have a reaction package. You react to your opponent's play as well. So we have bounce spells. We use Stern Dismissal over Unsummon because we are seeing a lot of enchantments problems in the format, like Banishing Light or things like the Indestructible Guards that are enchantments that never gets turned on by smart opponents. So if you do not have a at least temporary answer, you might get killed by them. So Stern Dismissal gets the nod over Unsummon. Glint, sadly they do not have counterspell in the pre-constructed decks, so Glint is something that you can use to protect your creatures from a removal spell, because once you start to have like a flying creature and then you mutate 2 to 3 creatures on it, you really don't want to lose them easily, because it's like a 1 for 3, 1 for 4, and it's hard to come back from that kind of card disadvantage. So Glint to usually block a burn spell, block a destruction spell, it's very important. Alright, we also have some destruction spells of our own. Illuminate, get rid of small creatures and Planeswalker. The Planeswalker clause may not be as relevant because 3 mana Planeswalker not very often seen, right? But creatures that are small, like cost 3 or less, is still a very commonplace in the current format. So eliminate pretty good. Heartless Act also a very good card. 2 mana, destroy target creature with no counters on it. You would be amazed at the number of creatures that actually gets counter onto it, like escape creatures, some of the escape creatures actually, and others that put counters onto it. So Heartless Act does not get to be a 4-off, uh, not just because you only have 2 copies in the pre-constructed decks. It's really just like a split of like 2 eliminate and 2 Heartless Act seems a more reasonable choice. There are other removal spells as well, but they are just too expensive, and the deck really don't want to cast spell that costs like 3 mana or up. So Heartless Act and eliminate. Present Borrower as a one-off. Of course, you only have one of this very rogue in your pre-constructed deck. Very powerful. If you cast it as an adventure, the Petty Theft, you return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. You can temporarily get rid of an enchantment that they might not be expecting, or temporarily bounce a planeswalker that you might not be able to deal with right away, things like that. Very useful card. And also you can flash in the rogue after, like, say, a board wide spells, so that you can continue to fight on the air, have a flying creature, so you can start mutating again, which they will not expect. Also, Murderous Rider as one-off. Again, you only get 1 copy out of the pre-constructed deck. This one is a little bit less certain. I don't like the fact that it is a 2/3 lifelink. It doesn't come very often to be cast as a creature, and but the swift end part of it is very important. It is a clean answer to any creature or planeswalker. You don't have any conditions to it. You don't like destroy target non-black creatures. You don't have all those nonsense. You just destroy it, but you lose 2 life. In aggro matchups, it will get awkward sometimes, but as a one-off, it still gets the nod. And the creature side also a little bit useful as well, because you can, it's not a human, so you can mutate any creatures onto it, and it has lifelink as well. So if you mutate onto it and make it a little bigger, you gain a little bit more life as well. So sometimes it's relevant, sometimes it's not. A one-off feels right in the deck, even if you have multiple copies. Alright, lands. So 9 island X-Worms, not very special. You have 4 tapped blue-black land that gains you 1 life. The Dismal Backwater. Temple of Deceit, you only have a one-off. More cards, more Temple of Deceit would be welcome, and you can replace the Backwater with this Temple of Deceit, because scrying is way better than you gain 1 life. Although the 1 life is also sometimes relevant, because in a format where Lightning Bolt is not a thing, like shock, like 2 damage to the face, like 1 life actually matters much more. Also, Evolving Wilds, I've only put 2 into it. Counting these and these, you have 7 tapped lands. You don't want too many tapped lands in the deck, because it slows the deck down so much. I've tried it, like 4 Evolving Wilds, it just isn't worth it. It usually originally was 8 islands and 7 swarms, and then just 4 Evolving Wilds, but the deck doesn't run at all. It's like a snail paste. I don't have a sideboard because we have included cards that are only best of 1 legal, I believe. So there's no point to build a sideboard. once you get more cards, you can eliminate these best of one only cards, and then you can add a sideboard to play some of the sideboard games if you're into it. But at the start, you usually just play best of one. You don't have cards that actually fits into the sideboard anyway. So, and here is the deck. How do I arrive with this deck? We can take a look a little at the original deck list. So there are all sorts of different cards in this. Some of them doesn't look like it makes sense. I've tuned the mana curve way down. Like this just gets the cut. We need more mutation creatures, but this one is just like 6 mana. You never get to cast it. Lockmere Serpent, very good creature, 6 mana, flash in for a 7/7, very powerful. Relevant abilities as well. Sometimes you exile your opponent's graveyard or something, but it is so expensive in the deck that it just doesn't get to it. And the deck doesn't have any ramp spells into it as well, so you don't get to 6 mana very easily. And once you hit to a 6 mana, 6 land, you don't really want to cast this as well. Massacre Worm, I don't know why it's there. It's just sitting there for no reason. Like this. So I removed some of the cards that are irrelevant. Also, Atreus, Oracle of Half-Truth. You can see that if it's a human advisor, you cannot mutate onto a human advisor because it is human. Mutation is that if you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it under or over target non-human creature you control. So I don't know why it's there. It is a very good card. It gives a little mini effect of fiction, if I remember correctly. But in this deck, it just doesn't work. Let me see. Anything else? Yes, I've also added Harlan's Act in addition to the eliminate to help increase the removal count of the deck. Mysterious Egg, tried it. I don't really want this one drop. We have a couple of tap lances already, and putting it onto creature. You start to mutate creatures and then you just put counters on it. Isn't really relevant. If you have like the green version of it, then it is a little more relevant because you get to have like mutate and then just ramp your a land. It is more relevant. Like if it keeps back getting bigger, your opponent will have to respond to it, but it doesn't have flying. So and we want creatures with flying. So it gets the cut. Alright, so let's head into some games and see how our deck works. Okay, let's see. You go first. Alright. Headland. Frog. If you see frog, you usually keep if it is not a one-lander. So, keeps. You can just first turn, you fetch black. Because the deck doesn't have many cards that have double blue mana, but you have cards that requires double black mana. So usually if you can fetch, you fetch black. Alright. Red deck. Do we slow roll this? I don't think we do. If the next turn we don't draw cards, we might need to use the mutate function to start drawing cards. Oh, and we missed the card draw. Alright, so we can mutate onto the frog to loot away, or we can use some of these spells. But I think we don't want to miss the land drop, so we'll try to loot away for it. Fail. I'll throw away this. No attacks. Mono red. Still missing land drops. This is a little bit awkward. We cannot allow our opponents to continue to develop while we just sit around doing nothing. Stuck on 2 land is very, very painful. Wow, okay. Raid bombardment. Powerful card. Get the land. Oh god. But it is a land. So on the bright side, it is still a land. So what we do here is we hold on to Glint or Hunting Show Shark because we have 2 mana cost reduction, so we can mutate on it for 2 mana. And we also hold on to the Harness Act. Alright, no attacks, and turn. Another delicate exploration. There is not much we can do about it. Okay. Land. Okay. All right. I think what we are going to do is we will bounce this one. So that we don't have to eat the 4 mana spell. Also, we'll fetch 4 black. As I've mentioned, we need double black. You usually don't need, but we have resin. Okay. Alright. Double blue it is. You can attack, I will not block. Oh, no attacks. Okay. Punished. But it's still a land, so. What do we do? We can Tomb Raid to draw a card. But we're not gonna hold on to any of this. I think we now start to attack. See if they blocks. Block. No block. Okay. I will enter. So Okay. Resolve. Sadly, we don't get to remove this glowing gang leader. Okay. Okay. I'll block first, see if they do anything stupid. My turn. That's odd. But okay. As odd as it seems, I think the heart attack is not very good. Also this one as well. Alright, over. And then start draining life, and then bounce, get rid of the token. Seems good. Stern dismissal. Could be good for bouncing Vatican exploration if they try to do something stupid. Alright. Shock? Double block. Land is good. Land is good. And then we will bounce the token so that we can get rid of it. End of turn. Alright, wow, 7 mana. That's a lot. What do they have? All good cards. All good cards. What can they do? We can always dismissal the bombardment if it becomes a problem, but we're at 25, so we're not worried about that at the moment. More tokens. Okay. Alright. No blocks. That helped out. Draw. See if we get land. Okay. Still a meaningful clock. End of turn. So if anything gets out of control, we can always turn dismissal it. Emperor Cliff. Okay. Holy mother. Okay. That's actually very neat. But I'm not going to take that 6 damage. Is this 6 damage? Okay. Getting frisky. Does that mean they have another Embercleave? Critical as long as it's exiled. They plan to Evercliff. Of course. I will say no to that. They can always... Yeah, I think they will do it. Okay. 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 Hmm? Okay. Oh man. Oh my god. Alright. We'll hold up on Glint. Whatever creature they stick an Evercleave onto will just block it. Oh man. Okay. The game is far from over. But I don't think you have lethal, right? Like... Okay. But the 3/3s are big. I'll give you that. Okay. We do not have to worry about that, but... we'll block. Yeah, doesn't have enough damage. Pretty neat, actually. Pretty neat. I thought I'm done for. I mean, Embercleave. Okay, game 2. Alright. opponent goes first. Again, 2 land, tap land. No time to play, but we still have a Murderous Rider, hard effect. This is basically a mulligan. But if we draw into the 3rd land, we can start using the Warden, Winged Words to draw into more cards. We'll give it a try. I mean, it's not ideal. Definitely not ideal, but swamp and go. Our opponent is on mono black so far. Wood Nipper with a Death Touch counter on it. Wise to do so, but I cannot kill it. How does that? Okay. Take 2. There's no reason we do not destroy it, to be honest. Oh no. That's actually bad. We have to, oh god. Punished. 2 land. And oh, okay. Oh no. We're ripped apart. And China creature has lifelink and the creature. Nice. And a tablet. Untitled. Can we get out of this? We need the Murderous Rider to kill it. Kill the 5/5. And then we only have 1 mana left. Not good, but we'll play it out. We will play it out. Not good. Destroy the 5/5, take 3, goes to 2. Okay, we can Murderous Rider, Mutate, doesn't do much. We can Ethos, draw 2 cards. I think this is the right play. And then just draw 2 cards. We'll have to block it, and then it gets bigger. What? Full attack? I will have to block your 2. Are you kidding me? Okay, whatever. Okay. Alright. We need to think carefully. What if we have 5? If we use 3, that's 3 left. If we block this, we die. still the murderous rider. And hold on to it. Next Lotus, okay. That is a card. Full attack. I won't block your Scorpion. No attacks. Good sign. This is insta-death, but yeah, let me see, 4 and 2, so we can, yes, we can do it. So we can bounce and then trigger, bounce again, bounce Autumn, and then swing back. But they have a lot of mana to operate next turn, so we'll see if we live. Most likely not, but if they try to get rid of it, we have Glint, double Glint actually. Instant chip. No. What? Okay. Double bounce, right? And then the next turn we force them to sack it, and then start attacking. Yes. Alright. Mutate. Over. Bounce, take action. Also, mutate again. Under. Bounce. Take action. King live. I don't care. Mutate on it. Over. Decline. Force them to sack it. Alright, empty board. Attack. King 4. Draw a card. Good. May not be enough, but zero devotion, you don't have any mana. You have to play out something. Okay. The Scorpion comes back. Do we return any of the creatures? I'm going to do a little bit flooded, but someone has to block, right? Okay. For those two. Alright, enter. Again, if it becomes lethal, we bounce the creature. They have 6 mana. more if they can put some permanent onto play. Okay. If they cast this, they are at a disadvantage. But they can use a 4 mana, so. This is not a card disadvantage anymore because they have to discard a card to play this spell. Red, good for you. Only temporary solutions, but mutation creatures. No. Alright, give me your red. Okay. 4 more life. Bird. And turn. It's still up in the air. Opponent sitting at 4 cards. One is the Madu Outrider. We are on a lot of mana, so no need to play out an island just in case we have Frog to start cycling the deck. And our opponent is deep in the tank. Black Rich Troll. Okay. That is unfortunate. There's no way we do not have it, so. Unfortunate. Full on attack. Not real good. I don't think the game goes that long. And if it goes that long without an answer to this troll, I'm dead anyway, so. Okay. My turn. Goodness. Will attack. Draw card. More land. More land. Oh god. That is not gonna happen. Yeah, you're playing black. How come you will not have a removal, right? We'll take out the troll. They only have 2 over mana left. Let's just kill it right now. Wow. 2 mana. I don't think they can kill us. Let them come in. Goes to 10. My turn. Holy man. No. You just have to. String life, bounce you, take action, and then you sack it. Good. Alright, I'm out of action. If they have one more removal, I'm dead. Okay, replay stuff. Got it. And turn, pop that mode. Opponents at 2 cards. Okay. 2 mana. What is that card? I will actually do this. Oh yes. Come back at 2 life and rank up to gold tier. Okay, let's just try to wrap up. The deck, as you can see, sometimes it can be very powerful. Whoops, not this one. This one. Sometimes the deck can hold on to it, like starting to drain life. You can see in the last game, sitting at 2 life and staring at your opponent's creature where it dies, you just lose 2 life and you lose. You just start draining life and it becomes very important, particularly when you are fighting in the best of 1 meta where there is a lot of people trying to just aggro you out of the game. This can be a huge help. Against control, it it looks a little silly, but it's still a mutate trigger, so it's not completely a dead draw. And you can also see that where is it? The Sea Dasher Octopus. Oh, whoops. Alright, where is it? Removed it. Alright. The Sea Dasher Octopus is pretty powerful. When it connects, it draws a card. It is also an instant mutation trigger. So you can see that if you just mutate the shark and then immediately follow it by mutating a Sea Dasher Octopus, you get 2 bouncing triggers. That's how we deal with the board of 2 creatures that we simply cannot kill. And once the board is clear, the Massacre Worm gets sacrificed with the Chittering Harvester. The deck sometimes requires you to think ahead of how you can play out the turns, and sometimes you run into situations where it's like it's almost certain loss. I almost concede, um, like that game, but uh, it can have the ability to turn around games like that and just flip the table and force your opponent to run out of cards or run out of ways to kill you or just absolutely control the board with no way of him or her interacting with the mutation pile exactly because once the mutation pile starts to stack like uh, three or even four creatures on it, like one Dutch bat, one shore shark, and then one harvester on it, one trigger of mutate can trigger all of the mutations as well. So it's like once you put a octopus on it, put a hero of it. We did not see a hero in action in the last two games, sadly, but it is a very powerful card. Have flying, can bring Sea Dasher Octopus, can bring where is it? Maybe I've removed it. Alright, hold on just a second. The 3-mana rider. Yeah. The Murderous Rider into the air to chip in for damage. It also draws a card when it mutates. So another source of card advantage where you really need to have one. You can see that we constantly run out of cards once you run into the mid game. If you don't refill your hand, sometimes you lose. You can also see that I've used the Winged Words in the mid game. Like we have a couple of bad draws, but once you hit a flying creature, hit a 2-mana Winged Words, the tide can turn around very quickly for you. You get 2 fresh cards. You have more solutions to what problems you're facing. So it is a pretty fun deck. Sometimes it operates at instant speed, and holding on to a glint where you just prevent your creatures from getting killed is very important. You can see my opponent, the mono black opponent, trying to just kill it, aim a lot of removal at it and not succeeding because I have 2 glint in at my disposal. So this deck, a lot of fun, does not cost any wild cards and does not cost you any packs, does not require you to use gold to buy packs to make any of these cards. It's completely free. You just finish their mission, finish their task, and then they will give you this deck. So it's very fun. I'll have some update on it in the future as well. I have, as you can see, I have a very good time playing it, and I may even play it more in the coming days. So here's a bit of wrap up. Let me know what you think, and thank you for sticking around for so long. If you have any comments, feel free to just leave it down there. If you would like to see more decks that are starter decks that Magic Arena players will start to play, you can subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.